everybody, and hope you're having a good day. So, I'm sitting down to react to Foodie Beauty. She's live right now, has been live for a while. And, Foodie, I have a suggestion. How about changing the name of your channel from Foodie Beauty to Cloud Couch Diaries? I think that would be great. Just change the name of your channel from Foodie Beauty to Cloud Couch Diaries, because that's all we're seeing these days is you laying on the couch talking and talking about nothing and being high. Just change the name of your channel from Foodie Beauty to Cloud Couch Diaries. Anyway, so what's going on with Foodie? Not much, as usual. Same old, y'all. Her basically laying on the couch talking about nothing. And if she's not talking about nothing, she's talking about Salah. Salah, Salah, Salah. Speaking of Salah, uh, a word about that, about him. You know, I'm wondering a couple of things, y'all. I'm really wondering. This whole thing of if he's really talking to Chantal or not. I haven't decided yet. Is it door number one? They are talking, and he's cracking the door open just enough to give her a little bit of hope so that she doesn't blow up and she doesn't have a temper tantrum and she doesn't have a meltdown and spill his dirt on YouTube. Instead of telling her outright no, he's saying, well, let's see what happens in about 6 months to a year. If you make certain changes, then I'll let you back. And that little bit of hope, that small crack in the door, is what keeps her from getting mad and spilling all the dirt that she may have to say about Salah. He's keeping her anger at bay by feeding her a little bit of hope. Although, Chantal, can I say something about that? I think I will. Did it ever occur to you that the reason why he's giving you that little bit of hope is he knows how sick you are? He knows about your health issues. He knows about how you like to eat and that you're continually gaining weight. Did it ever occur to you that he figures maybe in 6 months to a year, because of the fact that you are not active, you are not getting off your butt and getting on your feet and being active and doing what you need to do to lose weight, within 6 months to a year, you could possibly be bedbound. And then if you're bedbound, well, then he could say, well, you're bedbound, so I guess you can't come over here. Did it ever occur to you that he might be wishing for that to happen? Or he might be waiting for that to happen? And then if it happens, then if you can't come over, it's not on him. It's not because he told you no. It's just that you physically couldn't do it. Or, and I know this is a really awful thought, y'all. It's not nice. He might be banking on the fact that her health problems are so bad. She might land in the hospital or possibly in a casket. I mean, I'm not saying it's going to happen, but if she doesn't take care of her health, it could happen. And he might be thinking 6 months to a year, if her health gets a lot worse, then she won't be able to come back anyway. So there's that. Or could it be door number two? And door number two is they're completely done. There is no chance for her to come back. And what we're witnessing, what we're hearing with Foodie Beauty is she doesn't want to admit that it's completely over, that there is no chance. Hence this story about we're still talking. And he's told me that if I make these changes, I can come back, because she doesn't want to let go of him yet. She wants to act as if there's still a chance when there really isn't. Why do I say that? Because many, many times Foodie has said that she doesn't want to be alone. She looks at being single and being alone is the worst thing in the world. That if you're single, you have no value. You have to be in a relationship of some kind to have value as a person. Although that is not true, that's what she believes. So is it door number one, Foodie, that you're still talking to him and he's thrown down all kinds of conditions for you to maybe come back? Or are you lying to your audience and lying to everyone and acting as if there might be a sliver of a chance you could go back when there really isn't a sliver? I don't know. I really don't know yet. But on that note, can I also say, Foodie, you're so stupid. If he really cared about you, he wouldn't make you wait 6 months. I mean, that's just ridiculous. Making somebody wait half a year for them to maybe come back. That's not even a definite, it's a maybe. So you're going to wait half a year for maybe a chance to be near him. And I'm also wondering, are you sending him money to make sure you get his attention? So let's think about that. If you're sending money, you're going to be sending money, what, every month for the next 6 months just for a sliver of a chance to go back? Are you kidding me? Are you serious? If you're sending money to a man, you're going to be sending money for the next 6 months and there's no guarantee you can go back. But meanwhile, he's getting the money. I also noticed, Foodie, the conditions that he put on you. He made sure to require 3 big things of you. He wanted you to work on your physical health. He wanted you to work on your mental health. And he wanted to see some improvements. Just one of those things that he mentioned, just trying to halfway conquer it would be a monumental task. Getting on top of your physical health, well, that's going to take a while. It will definitely take more than 6 months to get that together. Your mental health, same situation. And I'm sure he's also requiring that you get your money up. And your money's not been going up, it's been going down. So you're not working on any one of those 3 areas. Not at all. And if you don't work on them hard enough, or even if you do, let's just say you do work on them hard for the next 6 months and you do make improvements. 6 months from now, he may say, well, you've done some okay work, but it's not enough. I'll check back with you in another 6 months. And then if you work a little harder, he might say the same thing again. So he's going to keep you waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting. Why? Because he really doesn't want you there. If 2 people love each other, nothing can keep them apart. But if he's making you wait and he's putting conditions on you waiting, there's a reason. He's pushing you off. He doesn't want you there. He's trying to keep you at bay so that you don't blow up and rage and talk about him on YouTube, because he just wants to be in Syria or Kuwait. I'm not even sure where he is these days, but he just wants to live his life. And he doesn't want you getting on YouTube and embarrassing him and his family. So in order to keep you and your temper at bay, he's feeding you scraps of hope, maybe, unless he's not. And this whole thing is a lie. Well, regardless of what, y'all, she did a live called Hopeless Romantic. Let's take the romantic part out of it and let's just call it a hopeless live, because that's exactly what it was. I'm going to go over parts of this. We'll skip forward if we have to. We've also got some Twitter peeps to go over. So you guys know what time it is. It's time for the Twitter peeps. All right, it's time for those wonderful peeps from all the Twitter peeps. Before I get started, though, before I forget, I don't know if Chantal's going to see this react, but something I'd like to bring to her attention. She may or may not care. Lately, she's been in the headspace of, I really don't care about anything uh, because I don't have to care right now. Everything's good. Chantal, I know this may not concern you, but the old Foodie Beauty that I used to watch, the one that cared about her analytics and views and whatnot, would care greatly about this. So lately, I've seen a lot of people covering different people because you're so boring. There's been a lot of attention on Shani and Rev, some on Quirky Love Rosie. I mean, right now, honestly, the floor is open. Anybody that has interesting content, that has a little bit of drama mixed into it, it's going to get attention. I don't know if you want that, Foodie. I don't know if you care, but I'm just letting you know. Like, people are so bored with your content because you do the same thing every day that I've seen some reactors cover different people, and honestly, I don't blame them. If boring is boring, how many times can you react to the same person laying on a couch, being high, before you say enough? But something to think about, Foodie, that the crown is up for grabs, and anybody who's coming forward, that's bringing the drama, that's bringing the interest, it doesn't put anybody to sleep. Like, the reactors are going to pay attention. The attention and the interest is going to go somewhere else, and it's not going to be on you. And are you sure you want that? Is that what you want? I mean, I go on Twitter looking for stuff about you. I don't see very much. Why? Because there's not much to talk about. The old Foodie would have cared about that. The Foodie at present doesn't care about that. But just remember, when you went to the Middle East, in your arrogance, you assumed that because you were Foodie Beauty and you've been doing content for so many years that you could just come back to Canada anytime and people would just go wild and react to you. Nothing but you. You also banked on the fact that if you came back to Canada, you make all kinds of money. Well, you found out otherwise, didn't you? So if you're also rolling on the thought, well, people will just keep reacting to me and there'll still be interest. Girl, you got to be interesting first. There's only so much the reactors can do. As wonderful and talented and gifted and funny and witty as they are, I mean, there's always so much you can do with a bland potato stew. So just letting you know, Foodie, people are losing interest real freaking fast. Real fast. But let's get on to the peeps, shall we? Because that's why we're here. All right. So for those of you that are on Twitter that you'd like to follow me on Twitter, there's my handle, Wild Girl Sarah. And for those of you not on Twitter that you have no interest at all in the Bird app, I come on the Bird app for you. So I can gather up all the news, the gossip, the opinions, the feelings of Girl World and bring them all straight to your monitor or your phone. All right, so let's start here with the first tweet, courtesy of Fondue Spiteful Beach, saying, at this point, all she is good for is her reaction to people calling her out. She has virtually unalived her channel. Yep, and it's only getting worse. Now, as someone that I've been reacting to Foodie for God knows how long, there's something that I've noticed about you, Foodie, a trait that you have. And by the way, a lot of people do have this trait, but you definitely have it. In order for you to move, in order for there to be action, there has to be kind of a crisis situation going on, an emergency situation, something with a lot of urgency attached. If there is none, then you don't move at all. But if your back is against the wall and you have to move, then you will move. And right now, there is no urgency. You're in the apartment. You don't have to pay rent until February. I guess you would have enough money. So you're very comfortable doing nothing right now. And the only time you don't do nothing is when you have to do something. You absolutely have to. There is no other choice. So I don't know. I feel like this whole boring Cloud Couch Diaries arc is going to last a little bit longer until something drastic happens. I don't know what that's going to be, but something extreme has to happen before she starts moving and getting off her butt. Dee Dee's Fault says Salah has given her a year to get her crap together. If she is skinny, healthy, and rich, he might be willing to give up his cousin wife. So far, she is doing great. Well, as I said, I think he put the tasks that he put in front of her on purpose because he knew the three things that he chose she cannot accomplish. She would have to go to therapy for quite a while, for longer than 6 months. She would have to take care of her health for longer than 6 months. I mean, the damage that Chantal has done to her body is so extreme and so extensive. It's going to take a while to fix even part of it. But he's stringing her along, if they are indeed talking, because I don't know if they are. But if they are talking, he's stringing her along saying, yeah, 6 months. 6 months, I'll check back. We'll take inventory, see what's going on. And even then, after 6 months of her being a good girl, it may not be enough. He might tell her, wait another 6 more months, and then another, and another, and another, and another, and just keep her going until something happens. Florida Salt and Sass says, LMAO. They're still trying to manipulate each other. Him by false promises and setting a goal he knows she cannot meet, and her trying to blow smoke up his butt that she's still a practicing Muslim and is making self-improvements while using the beezers to appear she's well off. Another thought, Foodie, and I've said this more than once, and I'm going to keep bringing it up. You have to consider the possibility that he wants revenge all the way back to what happened in Kuwait. I mean, things like that, you just don't forgive and forget. He was living in Kuwait. He had a life, and you blew it all the way up. And he went to Syria where he did not want to be because he had to go there. You don't think he's still salty and bitter about that? I think he might be just a little bit. I mean, I'm not saying that Salah's the sharpest pencil in the drawer. But did it ever occur to you, Chantal, that he might be keeping you on some puppet strings to keep you under control? Because he knows you can make all kinds of money on your channel, spilling all the dirt, getting mad, because that's what sells on your channel. And you know I'm telling the truth. But by keeping you on a string, by stringing you along, by feeding you a scrap of hope that you might be able to come back, knowing that you being boring on your channel is basically going to tank your channel little by little, that might be part of his revenge. The fact that he had to deal with you and you were arrogant, you were cocky, you were mean, you were selfish, self-centered, narcissistic, cold-hearted, acting like a dictator. A lot of people have called Salah Kuwaiti Pete's. Well, thinking about Pete's Jamie for a minute, he's very passive aggressive. Like the anger is in there, but they just don't let it out. But it's still in there. Could what's going on is him being passive aggressive and getting his revenge by keeping you on a string and you being so boring that it's tanking your channel? And he might be loving that. Because if your channel is tanking and you don't have much money, then that could be another reason Why he says, well, you can't come back, Chantal. Your channel is dead in the water. How could you come over here and support yourself? You don't even have much money in pocket right now. I mean, there's so many possibilities here. But I agree with you, Florida Salt and Sass. I think they're still trying to play each other. If he's still in the game, I'm not even sure. I don't know if he is talking to her. I know that people have seen his account in live chat, but I got questions about that. We don't know who's operating that account. It could be Salah. It could be somebody not Salah. It could be one of Foodie's mods, for all we know, that Foodie has said to them, look, operate this account and make it look like he's here talking to me because I want to give people the impression that he's around when he's not around. I mean, we don't know. She's very manipulative. She would do something like that. Science Girl says this Persian is a breed of draft horse that originated in the Hossein River Valley in western France, part of the former Perche province from which the breed takes its name. Look at this horse. Goose Chuck, look at this horse. Goose Chuck, look at this boy. He is solid, thick. That horse is a unit, but he's so gorgeous. I love the coloring. It looks like he's covered in snowflakes everywhere. Absolutely gorgeous. Good God. That is, I can't help but think of the Budweiser, the Anheuser-Busch horses. I know it's a different breed, but doggone, man. Solid. There you go, Goose Chuck. That's for you. I know you love the horses. Can you imagine having this one, Goose? Dang. He'd eat you out of house and home with all the hay that he need. And how about this from Nature and Animals? This cow is seeing the beach and sand for the first time and loving it. Makes me happy. Well, I have to say, I've never seen a cow at the beach, but it looks like this cow is having a great time at the beach, rolling in the sand, just having a blast. Who knew that a happy cow would be one at the beach? Well, I guess now we know. Look, doing little hops, hopping around the sand. There you go. The cow is trying to make a sand castle. Not quite getting there, though. Maybe with some practice. Yog says, Owl loves husky puppy. Aw. Look at the babies. A sweet little thing. Your mom's emotional support, Carrot says, as if Chantal will toe the line. She can't stay sober for a day and unsupervised. She eats anything and everything she pleases. Sally is still receiving money from her and stringing her along. Of course he is. Oh, he set it up nicely. She's in Canada, and she could have picked the other door of, I'm letting this guy go, and I'm just going to go live my life and focus on myself, but she's picking the door of desperation instead. And again, I don't know if he's getting money from Chantal for sure, but I would imagine if he's still talking to her, it's got to either be because she's giving him money or he's doing it to pacify her temper so that she doesn't blab on him. Maybe a little bit of both, maybe one or the other. I'm not sure. But you're right. She can't stay sober for a day. She comes on camera high every day. And that could be another reason he rejects her coming back to Syria. If someone doesn't want you around, they will always find a reason to not have you around. But if they really want your company, they will find a reason and a way to make it happen. So he keeps finding reasons to push her off, push her off, push her off, push her off. And she's just not getting it. He's not into her. He will never be into her. He will never accept her. She can't be around his family. The family doesn't want her around. He's just bleeding her dry from whatever he can get from her. Bubbles and Cheek says, Foodie Beauty all but admits she and Salah are still together and will reunite if she toes the line in a year. We all called it. Can y'all imagine being interested in a dude And the dude looking you in your face and saying, well, maybe we could be together in a year. A year. Can you imagine? A man staring you in your face and saying, well, maybe we can be together in 1 year. But you have to wait a year. A year is a long time. I mean, if you stay busy, the year will fly by, but still making you wait a year. Now, it would make more sense if we're talking about two people who are in a long distance real relationship and maybe they live far apart and it takes that long to get together. But this is Chantal and Salah we're talking about, okay? They were around each other for 3 years. They were constantly fighting. They were like oil and water. And yet she's still clinging to the hope of we can be together in a year. Okay, Foodie. Tweet T says, unwatchable indeed. Fondue Spiteful Beach says, Foodie Beauty saved yourself 3 hours. So what was she talking about during the live? Here's the list. We learned how Cutie made waffles as a kid, what she sleeps with at night, a blanket and CPAP, Christmas movies, definitely not waiting for Salah to allow her to come back. Sure. Slurring excessively, where Chantal watches movies in her apartment. Last known scale weight was 345. Oh, that is such a lie. Content of McDonald's Grinch meal again. Cat names, regular movies. In Syria, Cutie slept on a single bed and Salah slept on a floor mattress. But I thought they slept next to each other. Didn't she tell us that? I thought they slept next to each other. So she told on herself. Okay, you told on herself. But I got questions about number 4. My question is, if she said in the live she's definitely not waiting for Salah to allow her to come back, then why is she working on the things that he told her to work on? Because Chantal would never work on those things herself. If there's no chance of going back to Syria and being with Salah, why not just take off the hijab and the abaya and be yourself, Foodie? If it's over, it's over. Or are you wearing the abaya and the hijab in a way to shield yourself from being demonetized? I think that's it. But putting the abaya and the hijab aside for a second, you're allegedly working on your health and your mental health and therapy and all that. If there's no chance of going back, then why are you acting like you're trying to do everything that he wants you to do? It's not because you want to do those things. You hate change and you hate working on yourself. But you guys want to know what happened in live? There you go. Interesting list, huh? Massimo says a New Hampshire farm woman lies down in the snow and makes a snow angel. Her horse does it too. Goose Chuck, pay attention. I know you're going to love this clip. So here's a horse making a snow angel. Even horses can make snow angels. The horse is imitating the owner. Look. There you go, Goose Chuck. A horse making a snow angel. The horse is seeing the human do it and is like, hey, I can make one too. And mine could be bigger than yours. Look at me. Look, I'll make a snow angel too. Look, plop down in the snow. There we go. Good horsey. All right. Now, how about this beautiful baby from Ashley saying she's beautiful. My childhood cat lived to be 22 years old. Antidepressant content says, say hi to Flossie. Hi, Flossie, who is 29 years old, the world's oldest living cat. She is set to celebrate her 30th birthday on December 29th, 2025. Hey, that's not too far from now, like another 20 days, and dear Flossie will be 30 years old, and she's gorgeous. Look at this beautiful tortie. Look at her. Almost 30 years old, still alive. That's amazing. Normally, cats don't live that long, but Flossie is defying the odds. She's just, what a good girl. Okay, let's see. What else we got here? Fondue Spiteful Beach says this is the Canadian content she raised money for to move back to Canada. All the Villa 2.0 beezing she promised lies as per always. She will do this same crap day after day until Salah allows her to come back and spend more money on him. Well, that's kind of the catch 22, isn't it? See, Chantal's not even being smart. This is the last month of the year where she can make better than average Google AdSense money. But because her rent is not due until February, she doesn't feel that sense of urgency to get off her butt and do things. She's just kicking back and treating it like a vacation because she can. But if she wants to get his attention, I would think that she'd want to make as much money as possible, because he does love money. But she's not really making money. She's just sitting on her doggone butt. Here's some of the comments from the stream. Miss P says, did you come to the stream with something to talk about? No. Strawberries and Cream says, can we please go out? No. Strawberries Cream says, can we please leave the apartment today? No. Y'all should already know the answer to these questions. I don't even know why you guys bother asking. All right. This right here. Chantal has something to say about what she calls Appalachias, which doesn't exist. Appalachian, she means maybe. So she says a lot of those people are uneducated. They just want to build families. They don't care about education or girlfriends. Bigot. I'm going to have to watch the stream to know what she's Appalachians. I know of the Appalachian Mountains. Where did this come up? Hold on a minute. I'm going to look something up real quick. Okay, I'm not big on geography. I'm not a geography buff. But is she talking about the Appalachian Mountains? There's a lot of people that live up there. And Chantal, one of my grandparents is from the Appalachian Mountains. And because my grandfather was from Tennessee, my grandmother from Kentucky. All right. And if you're on your live stream and you are trying to claim that people who live up in the mountains are uneducated, let me tell you something. Pull up a chair, biatch. You live up in the mountains, you have to be pretty self-sufficient because it ain't easy living. More than once, you claim that people who are Southern or from the Southern states, even a lot of people from the United States, you refer to people as hillbillies. Anybody who might have a Southern accent or a Southern drawl are uneducated. But if you live up in the mountains, okay, you live out in the wilderness, you've got to be self-sufficient. You've got to be independent. You've got to know how to take care of things and fix things. You might have to know how to hunt and fish and skin and smoke meat. You got to know how to take care of yourself and your family. And I'm sure those are skills you don't have. And since we're here, I'm going to pass along a little something that my daddy taught me. He said to me, there's two kinds of sense in this world. There's book sense and there's walking around sense. And you could easily go without the book sense, but you cannot do without the walking around sense. And the walking around sense that he was talking about was common sense, and you don't have the walking around sense. That's why you keep getting yourself in trouble. That's what leads you to all these bad choices, the fact that you don't have the walking around sense. And there's a lot of people who live up, I'm sure, in the mountains that have that common sense, and you don't have it. So before you start putting down people in different areas and labeling them as uneducated based on the location in which they're born and in which they live, you might want to roll that back. You might want to roll it all the way back, because you don't have that walking around sense, and you are not independent. You are not self-sufficient. I'm sure anybody from the Appalachian Mountains would leave you in the dirt as far as taking care of themselves. You can't take care of yourself at all. All right, thank you. So enough about that. Let's keep going. Cheryl is horrible horror saying, Foodie Beauty, I found dozens of apartments much cheaper than what you're paying. Thinking it's okay to live in luxury on Beezer donations is disgusting. Hope it blows up in your face. So there's an apartment that was cheaper than what she got. Also, I heard in one of her live streams, she revealed that she makes at least $6,000 a month from YouTube. Let me say that again. She said that she makes at least $6,000 a month from YouTube. So that should be more than enough money to live on, right? I mean, any one of us could live on $6,000, right? Because we got that walking around sense and we're practical. If it takes more than $6,000 for her to live, that's a problem, but it's not our problem. And it's not the problem with the Beezers either. Any Beezer that heard her say she makes $6,000 a month, you should hear that, remember that, and not give up your money, in my opinion. Because if somebody reveals to you they are not broke and they're making $6,000 a month minimum, they don't need your money. They really don't need it. They don't need it at all. So enough with the Twitter peeps. We're done there. Let's go on to her live. And I'm starting, I would say about 17 minutes in, where we're getting past the blah, blah, blah. There's no sense in reacting to blah, blah, blah. And look, there she is. And she's high. So Salah told you, allegedly, that you had to straighten up for the sliver of a chance to go back. And yet you're not straightening up. You're coming on camera high. You're not showing any kind of movement, any kind of action. You're not getting out and doing things. So is there really a chance to go back? Or are you just saying that to save yourself what you would be considered? You don't want to be embarrassed to say that you're alone? I don't know. I don't know. Let's start the reaction, though.
Exactly. Loose caboose for New Year's Eve? Should I have a little party just for myself? Oh my gosh, how pathetic. Thanks, MK. Romanticize.
I mean, the stream where she's talking about Salah, what was the purpose of it, Foodie? What were you saying without saying, look, Salah, I still remember you. I'm still talking about you. I care about you. I want to come back to Syria. You're just out loud reminiscing about him. Although when you were in Syria, the two of you fought a lot. You were complaining in Syria. You said, I want to get the crap out of here and I want to go back to Canada. I can't stand being here. I can't do what I need to do for my channel. And you couldn't, because you couldn't really stream the way you needed to. It was always lagging. But it's like, wherever you go, there's complaints. You're not happy. You weren't happy in Syria. You're not happy in Canada. Where exactly can you be happy? You want everything in one location. You're not going to find everything you want in one location.
Realizing life won't serve you well. Why? As man and wife.
You know what I wish that I could see one day? And I hope it happens, because if it happens, it's going to be absolutely epic. What would be epic, y'all, is if one day she's doing a live stream and she's just like this. She's coming on camera, high as balls, half out of it, and there's a domino effect. A few beezers say, I'm done. I'm done, Chantal. I'm done seeing this high content. It's boring. I'm burnt out from it. And all of this being said in chat. And then a few more people take the cue and they're like, you know what? You're right. We're out too. And then a few more, and then a few more. And then you're seeing beezers drop out like flies on live, like the Exodus happens on live. That would be epic.
I don't know.
And Chantal's like, where's everybody going? Why is everybody leaving me alone?
Right now, I don't know what's going to happen in a year from now. I'm dedicating a year to, trying to do better for myself.
Chantal, I'm not being mean saying this, but given all the things going on with you, you're going to need at least a few years. Let's talk about your health for a minute. I'm not a doctor. I don't know what's going on inside of you. I know you got all kinds of health issues, but you're over 500 pounds. Don't sit there and lie to me and try to tell me I'm 345. In your head, maybe. You're over 500 pounds. You were almost 400 pounds when you were with BB, and you've gained another 200 since you went over to the Middle East. And it's only gotten worse. But I'm going to be nice and say you're 500 pounds. You're over 500, but let's just even it out to 500. How long would it take you to get from 500 pounds down to, say, the 300s like you want to be? At least a couple of years. At least a couple. And that's with, getting the proper healthy food, getting yourself moving again. You got to work on your food issue, because that is basically a driving factor in gaining weight. So you got to go in serious therapy for that. You got to treat whatever medical conditions you might have that you may not be aware of, any mental issues. All of that is going to take more than a year. All of it. Because I'm sure the mental and emotional therapy, it's going to be tough. I'm sure there are many things that you haven't even begun to address yet, and bringing those things out of the dark and into the light, it's going to suck. You're going to be drained if you do that. You're going to be aggravated. You're going to be testy. All kinds of things are going to be happening. You can't accomplish all kinds of great work like that in such a short period of time. And you haven't even begun. Evidence of that is sitting in front of me right now. You're in your house. You're laying on your couch. Like, you know as well as I do that if you have a problem with depression, right, the worst thing you can do is just sit by yourself and like do nothing, because then, you got all that stuff just stirring around in your head, and it's going to get worse. You got to go outside, change the scenery, breathe the fresh air, like help your brain out, like give it something else to focus on besides your sadness.
Melissa, dumpster diving. And then,
Girl, you just started this stream and you're already yawning.
You do beezing out west? I'm not even thinking about that, Harlow. Right now, I'm just thinking about myself, and I have a mission. Like I actually have a goal for like a year, and then I'm gonna see.
Yeah, but Chantal, when it comes to getting things accomplished, you tend to be procrastination patty. If somebody says, well, I'll check back with you in a year or 6 months, then where your mind goes immediately is, well, I got 6 months. 6 months is a long way from now, or a year is a long way from now. So I don't have to do anything right now. It's not a pressing concern. I got 6 months, I got a year. So you'll put it off and put it off and you put it off and you won't get started. That's the way you tend to handle things.
What's going on and where I am. But my mission right now is to just focus on like
On what?
health and stuff like that.
Well, doing those mukbangs, you're not focusing on your health. You keep doing mukbangs and posting them to YouTube. How exactly is that focusing on your health? How is that good for you? That makes no sense to me.
Hillary King here.
And I'm going to say something harsh, but it's a question for anybody who might be watching this React video. Honestly, and please think about this before you reply, is there honestly any difference between Chantal sitting in her house, eating a bunch of food, being high, and someone who, per se, might be in a crack house, just sitting in a crack house doing illegal substances all day? Is there really any difference except that one is being broadcast and the substances might be illegal, and the other one is being broadcast and some of the things that they're doing might be legal? As I've said in my lives, addiction is addiction. It doesn't matter if what the person is addicted to is, if it's something legal or it's illegal. Addiction is addiction, and addiction is harmful. Addiction ruins your life. It ruins the lives of people around you. It hurts them. It hurts you. It does so much damage, especially at extreme levels. Addiction, it takes away friendships. It takes away your social life. It takes away your ambition, your drive, your ability to be happy. And on the extreme levels, when you get absolutely consumed by your addiction, all you want to do is sit in a room and do whatever addiction that you have is all day. And that's exactly what she's doing. She wants to sit in a room all day and eat and get high and eat and get high. So again, I ask you honestly and sincerely, is there much difference between what Chantal is doing and somebody who might be, say, in a crack house doing substances? There really isn't much difference. In both cases, you got two extreme addicts that are consumed by their addictions, and all they want to do is do their addictions all day. That's when addiction has nearly swallowed you whole.
I don't know. I don't. I'm not really at liberty to talk about what he wants or what. Like I'm not, personal feelings and stuff like that. I'm keeping private from the internet in regards to.
You know, Foodie, you're an idiot. You're more consumed with what he wants and what he needs versus yourself. This is your life. Shouldn't it be about what you want and what you need and what makes you happy? Your mind is completely on a guy who's thousands of miles away, you big idiot. He's living his life. He started living his life again the moment that you left. You got to know while he's over there, he ain't lonely. He's with somebody. He's having a good time, but you're not. He's living his life and he's getting money from you. Congratulations. You graduated from the college of stupid and ridiculous. You got a degree, girl. Because he's far away from you and you're still focused on him and the hope of being back with him.
I'm just like, I'm a romantic person. I miss romance.
If you miss it and you want it, then why not work on yourself so you can have it? Wow, what an idea. Maybe if I work on myself, maybe if I improve myself, maybe if I make myself appealing, I can have some romance. Maybe I can have a guy around who'll want to actually cuddle with me and I won't have to pay him thousands of dollars just to say hi. What an idea. Maybe if I take care of my hygiene, if I brush my teeth a few times a day, if I'm not a filthy, sloppy, slobby mess, if I work on my mental health, if I work on my emotional health, if I work on my physical health, I can get myself to a place where I can experience true, genuine, sincere romance. You want these things, Foodie? You got to work on yourself and you got to work on them. Because I'm sorry, no man wants to cuddle up to anybody who smells like a trash bag. You don't take a shower. You lay around unbathed for days, sweating, stinking, not brushing your teeth. Ain't nobody going to want to cuddle with you. And that is not fatphobic. That would apply to somebody of a smaller size as well. I mean, stink is stink and stank is stank. Your breath stinks, your body stinks. Don't nobody want nothing to do with that. That ain't sexy. Nope. So do you want romance? Do you want love? Work on yourself. Be that person. That person would say, I want to be around them and they don't have to pay me.
Let's start a group, Nesreen. You have spares? You'll send me what? There's a huge population of Lebs and Syrians in Canada. We'll find one that's better for you. Well, I'm not even thinking of that right now. I'm uncomfortable. Someone get an adult. Christy D sending a cyber hug. Just want to remind you you're valued and you're loved. Oh, thank you, Christy D. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Texas to Brazil. Ooh la la. Palestinian. Thank you so much for the super chat.
You know, I'm not trying to be mean here, but I can't imagine living a life of being so desperate for attention and validation, and there'd be such an unwillingness to work on oneself that rather than work on oneself and improve oneself, settling with just catfishing people online, sending filtered pictures and videos, and saying, I'm okay with just getting attention from that stuff. And I don't want to take it any further because I don't want the person that I'm catfishing or that I'm lying to finding out that I'm just a great big old liar. She says she wants love and attention, but yet she'll settle for getting attention using fake pictures and videos of herself and sending those to people. You know what that means, Foodie? That means if you get attention using highly filtered pictures and videos of yourself, then whoever it is that's giving you attention, they're not really giving you attention. They're giving a fantasy you. the attention because that's not really you. They don't really like you. They like a warped version of you.
No, I mean, I'm not laughing because like I'm interested. I'm not interested in talking to or meeting any local dude men or you know.
Why not? Canada's a big place. I'm sure there's plenty of people. There's a reason why she doesn't want to talk to anybody local, y'all. It's because anybody local, they're close enough they could travel to her. They could take a train or a car ride or a plane ride or something and get to her in no time flat. She always picks people far, far away because if the person is far, far away, the further away they are, the more she can lie and get away with it. Versus somebody local that if they get interested in the filtered fantasy catfish version of her, at some point they're going to say, I'd like to meet you. Can we meet up with each other? Can we do coffee? And if she did, they'd find out that she lied and probably run the other way. Because if you're interested in somebody and if, say, they want a relationship or something, it's never good to start off things on a lie. You're showing the person that you're a liar. And if you lie about one thing, you'll lie about everything.
I'm just interested in just working on myself. Left at your suggestion. The lipstick says it all. No. But I do. Was it last night that Salah came into the chat with a kite emoji? And it took me a few minutes to understand. Like, oh my god. He knows that saying, high as a kite. Oh my gosh, I don't know. That just made me laugh so hard.
Basically, if that was Salah, he was saying, there you are, high again. So if he's checking up on you, Foodie, and you keep doing streams like this where you're high, he's not going to want you back in Syria. He's going to go, oh, there she is. Same old Chantal, doing nothing, going nowhere, high. Every stream that you do like this is going to make him go, no, I don't want her back.
So
You're not even smart enough to keep your high off camera.
Salah has set you a goal for a year from now. No, I set my own goals. Thank you very much.
No, you didn't. You would never set the goal of, I'm going to improve myself in 6 months to a year. That came from him. I guarantee you that came from him. And again, he gave you goals that he knew you would not be able to accomplish. You were around him for 3 years. He wanted you to work on your health. You never did. He wanted you to work on your mental health. You never did. The money, he wanted you to work on that and keep it up. You didn't do that either. So you didn't work on those things while he was there. What are the chances of you working on them alone if alone you're a mess? You fall apart when you're alone. You go more into a deep, dark hole. He purposely set goals that he knew you could not and would not accomplish because that would give him all the more reason to refuse you and push you back and push you back and push you back. Because the longer that you stay away, the more of a life that he has. And as ugly as this sounds, Chantal, there might be the chance that he might be thinking to himself, well, 6 months to a year, knowing her, she's not going to improve. She's going to get worse. Maybe in 6 months to a year, she might be in the hospital or bedbound or a casket. So maybe something will happen to where she will not be a problem and she won't be a threat. and all this talk about her coming back, if she puts herself in the position where she can't physically come back, all the better for me. In the meantime, I'm still getting money from her. And she's not popping up at the mouth, and she's not revealing my dirt. So it's a win-win for me. He's playing your loneliness and your desperation and your need for validation against you. Unless it's all a lie, which it very well could be, and it's completely over and you know it, and there's no chance of going back, and you know that too, and you don't want to admit that to people because you look at being single as being shameful when it's not. Maybe you're not ready to tell us yet that you guys are done. Maybe you guys are done and you're looking for somebody else to take his place, and then you might let him go. I don't know. I guess we'll find out.
I'm flirting with who? If you get a new man, please tell me. I won't tell. Yeah, of course. I trust you. But then I'm not going to be getting a new man. Ew, my teeth. I mean, like, if I get a new man, it will be like in a year, maybe. Not now. A year or more.
Here's a question for you, Chantal. The you that you are right now, unchanged. In a year, if you are the same Chantal, what are your chances of hanging on to a man, a good man, if you find one? What are the chances of being able to be with that man and that man really caring about you, of being able to put up with you? You're a lot. You're a burden. I don't think your chances are very good. I mean, let's keep it real. If you're a person and you have a heart that you want to love somebody, you want to find that person you could spend the rest of your days with, the next 20, 30 years, 40 years. You want to live each day with them until your very last day. When you step off the mortal coil, you want them to be your partner, your best friend, your confidant, the love of your life, the love of your soul. Are you going to pick a person that has an I don't care attitude? Doesn't care about themselves, doesn't care about other people, doesn't care about their health, that any minute they could have a heart attack or a stroke. Their health is so bad that anything could happen to them. Would a person want to invest their heart and their soul and their feelings and their energy and their time in a person that doesn't care about themselves? Because all that's going to lead to is heartbreak if something does happen to that person. Who'd want to even get started?
What do I want? He wants Salah, but he wants kids. Okay, 1, I've never said I wanted Salah. 2, he's never actually said he's wanted.
Wrong. Wrong. He actually did. I know you hate when people bring this up, Chantal, but what about Kai Bella? Can we talk about her for a minute, please? Those texts that were going back and forth. He wasn't just talking nasty to Kai Bella. No. There were other questions that he was asking her. He was giving her a full-on resume, asking her how many subscribers that she had on TikTok, how much money she was making, if she could support him. And he wanted to know if she was fertile. So he wanted to know if she could have kids. Now, if he did not want kids, if that was not an interest of his, why would he ask that in text messages? Apparently he wanted some kids, or that was a concern of his. If you're not interested in that, why ask the question? You have this nasty habit, Foodie, of getting involved with men that they expressed the desire to have a family. BB wanted a family. And unfortunately, you could not give him a family. You know, like you had your hysterectomy, you can't have kids. And then there's Salah. Salah obviously wanted kids. And you had to know at some point things were going to break down. If he wants a family, you would not be able to provide him with one.
Wanting kids. Hello, Patty. I mean, yes, he has said it, but
Yeah, he wants children.
I want you single for a while. Yeah, me too.
I mean, I don't know what she's thinking. If she meets up with a man and they say, yeah, I'd like to have a family someday, I want to have children. I don't know if she's thinking, well, just because he said that, I can make them forget all about that. Make them forget this little desire that they have. They can just be with me. If a person really wants something, they want it, you know, and you can't take that away from them.
I don't know what the end goal is. I guess just like I said, right now my goal is
Nothing.
try to work on myself.
Yeah, I really see you working on yourself. Laying on a doggone couch, getting high. That's really working on yourself. That's really motivational, isn't it?
Healthy life recipe, you know. New Year's Eve with Pete. He's going live. He loves you live stream people. Do you think you'd only want a Muslim man? Yeah. I don't know. Yes, I have to. I didn't say I was holding out hope for Salah.
Cake and Icing says, he never said he wanted kids. Chantal, 5 seconds later. Well, he did say that. Well, there you go. There you go.
No, I mean, like,
Yeah.
none of my business. I'm not defensive. No, I'm not.
Chantal, just let him go. If it's over, just say it's over. Like, what are you doing? You know what you're doing? You're trying to continue the Kuwait arc over in Canada. You're still trying to keep it going, and it's not working. It really isn't working. It doesn't make any sense. You're holding a torch for a man that's not even looking at you. It doesn't care if you carry a torch. He's not carrying a torch for you. He is walking away from you. He is far down the road. He can't even see you nor your torch. He don't care. He's living his life while you're sitting on that cloud couch doing nothing. He don't care one whit about you. Here's the crazy thing. Lean in, Chantal. I got something to say to you. If you're over there and it's over and you're thinking to yourself, I have to act as if he still cares about me because that is saving me from the embarrassment, the humiliation of being without him. The part that you're missing is that by carrying a torch for him and acting like he's still around is just more humiliation. It's more embarrassment. You're making things worse for yourself, stupid. Pining over a guy that clearly is not pining over you. sitting here talking endlessly about him. And remember when, I remember this, I remember that, I remember Salah. You're embarrassing yourself and you're wasting time, valuable time. What you're going to wait 6 months just to have him say, "Oh no, you've not made enough improvements. We're another 6 months is needed." And then 6 months later after that, a year is needed. You're gonna wait that long just to be able to talk about him, hold on to him. He's not holding on to you.
I am, like I said, just focusing on myself or trying to, but I don't really want to do that.
I don't see a person in front of me that's focusing on themselves. I see a person who is just numbing themselves out so they don't have to focus on themselves. That's just my observation.
See, she's right here. Unless I put the cat tree on the couch. No, I'm just joking. Anyways, I'll just get her one, like, to see if she likes it. Have a lot of love to give? Who? I do. I do to her. Chicken dinner. What are you having? I don't remember if I ever said that. If I did say that, I would need to know the context.
Oh, Nazarene says, Chantal, did you really ever say Beezers are replaceable? Yes, she did. She did say that. She said that in Cuba. Said that during the Cuba rage. As a matter of fact, if I'm remembering correctly, that happened more than once, more than just Cuba. She said that in many of her uh, Canadian villa days. She was arrogant and high on her horse. Beezers, here's something you should know. During her Canadian villa days, when she was making a lot more money, when she was streaming 8 to 10 hours a day, every day, she was so high on her horse and such a rude, obnoxious biatch. Anybody who sent her, like, say, a small super chat, like $1.99 or $2.99, she put those people down and called them cheap because a super chat wasn't at least $5. How dare you send her $1.99? You're cheap. Yeah, that happened. But there was more than one occasion where she said, I don't care if people leave. I'll just get more Beezers. I don't care. And that was because back in the day, Chantal had a very high turnover rate with her channel. 5 Beezers would disappear, 5 more would take their place. Turnover rate was crazy. But that ain't the case these days. But yeah, she did say it. And I would never lie to you. This one would. She did say it. And there's proof out there. As a matter of fact, I'm going to go find it and play it here on my channel when I do find it again.
And by the way, no, I didn't only seal, and I basically, yeah.
Up, the Daily Life said it was said a lot. Yes, sure was. It sure was. You said that a lot. You put out that attitude a lot. Yes, you did. Yes, you did.
I feel like I did a lot. I would wake up every day, go.
Oh, Jam Pete said, you said more would come in when we got blocked. There it is.
If the fridge wasn't plugged, I would plug it. make breakfast. I would make my royal breakfast. My royal breakfast for my king.
You're again talking about a guy that don't care. Remember when I would make you breakfast, Salah? You were my king. Yeah, but you kept arguing with your king, and you were never his queen. You were just his pay pig with a salary that he got money from. He never looked at you as his partner, his best friend, his confidant, or his queen.
I just called it the royal breakfast because, well, that's what Salah called it, the royal breakfast. And the pool in Kuwait gives your motivation. We all wake up every day. I don't know, Kuwait. No, the floor couch was comfortable, yeah. Because I had that thing to lean on, so I would just like, I never had to worry what's in the royal breakfast. Um, that's not true. Strawberries.
I have a
So
question for you, Chantal. Do you have feedies in the background that when you come live, they ask you to lay down and kind of get lazy? Is that part of their fetish? They don't want you sitting up and actually talking to people. They want you just laying on the couch because that plays right into their fetish.
you have to make tea. So I would put a pot of boiling water on first because that took forever. So tea, and you still have eye crusties and everything.
Oh, God. The conversation is riveting, Chantal. I can see why people are reacting to other people. It's so crazy. Shani and Rev are getting a lot of press everywhere because the drama is popping off on that side. Like I said, it the crown is up for grabs, y'all. Anybody that wants to step up and they have interesting content beyond what Chantal is doing, and trust me, she set the bar really low right now. Anybody that can do more than just lay on a couch and get high and babble, if you're bringing the interest and the drama, like the crown is up for grabs. It's sitting on the ground. Anybody that wants to run up, grab it, and run with it can. It'd be just that quick, just that easy. There's not even a competition right now. Like, Chantal, you're making it easy for someone else to come along and take people's interest.
I find the soulmate thing a naive thing that lovers say.
And I don't know if you want that to happen, if you're ready to let the crown go. If you're like, I don't care anymore, I'm burnt out, I'm done, let somebody else have it. I don't know if that's your point of view. I don't know what's going on in that head of yours, but you want attention and you want to make money. Right? Right. So somebody else comes along and they start getting reacted to, the interest in you is going to go down and down and down and down and down until like nobody's watching you anymore.
But you never know. It could be true. You don't find men attractive because you're not over Salah yet. Okay, so
Oh, Nazreen says Chantal just falls for any guy who treats her romantically. Yep, she sure does.
when did I know it was gonna work? I clued in very late in the game. I don't recognize the signs that were there. I didn't try hard enough in Syria.
You're not trying hard enough now. Is this what you call trying? I don't see you trying. You didn't try hard enough in Canada. You didn't try hard enough in Kuwait. You didn't try hard enough in Syria. You didn't try hard at all. You don't try. That's the problem. You don't even try.
I completely lost my mind. and I had very little control over my mental state.
Well, don't you think you should be getting a handle on that? You can't look at another person and say, it's your responsibility to keep me stable. It's your responsibility to keep me entertained. It's your responsibility to be there with me 24/7. It's your responsibility as a human being to take care of you. No one else's, especially if, since you're an adult. You're not a child. Although you like to act like one for attention, you are not a child. Being around someone who is just too much is exactly that. It's too much. It's a burden. It's exhausting. It's tiring. I'm actually surprised that things lasted as long as it did with Salah. But he got his fill of you to the point where now he's saying, yeah, check back with me in 6 months because he don't want you back.
Trauma bonds. For Dumb and Dumber. No, I don't want to think, but I don't want to think of our relationship as like a doomed, failed marriage because it's not.
It is. It was. I don't want to think of it as doomed and failed, although it was. And even if you were back in Syria right now, Chantal, it would still be doomed. It would still fail because he doesn't love you. So it doesn't matter if you're in Canada or the Middle East. He doesn't want you. He doesn't love you. He doesn't feel bonded to you. All those times you caught him with pictures of other women on his phone, talking to other women, the numerous times that it happened. If he had needs, he never went to you for those needs. You were not his first choice. You weren't even his second choice. There's your answer right there. It was always somebody else, but it was never you and will never be you.
Because there was so much, there was a lot of good.
Like what?
Most of it you guys couldn't see.
And of course, you're going to say that because you can make that claim. And how is anybody going to prove you wrong? Oh, he's such a good guy and he loves me so much behind the scenes. If that were true, why didn't we see traces of that on camera? Why was there always this awkward energy if he did not want to be around you and he didn't want to touch you? If he adored you off camera, why wouldn't he adore you on camera? Where was that energy? It was nowhere to be found. But you're making the claim of, you guys don't know what happened off camera. We can pretty much guess because of the way the two of you behaved on camera.
Because that's private and, you know, and Muslims believe to, you know, that's why my crazy frog. Did I eat something?
You know, Chantal, like I said, I don't know if you're still sending him money, but consider the thought that he might be taking your money right now and using it to suffice for himself and his family. The money you might be giving him might be used to pay for himself and his new wife and their family. And that might continue for another 6 months or more.
Good today.
And all you're going to get are just text messages and little videos of Julia. In the meantime, you're funding a family, but you'll never be a part of it.
Yeah. Mm. In a safe place with freedom of speech. Thanks, Patty.
This comment, Silver says, the more you hide, the more we see. You think we're all imbeciles with no life experience, lol. I grew up half Muslim. I can see right through his game. Yeah, a lot of people can. We all know what's going on. And I'm sure she knows what's going on. She's just not ready to let it in because she doesn't want to let go. She wants to hang on. Even from afar, she wants to hang on. She is determined to have a place in his life somewhere, even though she doesn't. She wants to have a connection to a man that does not want her connected to him. And since Salah has a family, Chantal, I'm just going to say it. He's got a family, a lot of family members. And as I see it, as I understand it, since he's very close to his family, if his family don't like you, then he's not going to accept you. You would bring shame to the family, a lot of shame. He's not going to bring you around. He would never proudly call you his wife. You've caused a lot of pain to him and his family. So they would never receive you with open arms. Like, family has a lot of influence.
What game?
Ooh, she got defensive with Silver's comment about I can see right through his game. What game? She says she don't want to see it. She does not want to admit that she got played for a fool, and she's still being continued being played for a fool. It just her narcissistic side just won't see it, won't admit to it. The scammer does not want to admit that she got scammed. Although, to be fair, they scammed each other, they lied to each other, they played each other. He's still playing her, though, because she's allowing it.
You can get alcohol and drugs anywhere. True. This is our Christmas content, just laying on a big comfy couch and talking. Yeah, well, I have to get a car, right? So after the 23rd, we'll be going out a lot more.
Stacy says you also needed to save your channel. This is your income. Syria was not working, but now it's time to set goals and get off that couch. Agreed.
So thank you, Lisa.
Like, this is her income. If something happens to her channel, like, what is she going to do? Whatever money she has in pocket, if she gets demonetized, that's all the money she has. Unless she gets one last paycheck, which is debatable. But after that, then what? What is she going to do? And does she honestly think that if she gets demonetized, that Salah's going to continue to talk to her? Oh no, he'll block her number in a heartbeat. He will.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, Stacy is like, there's always a way. Like, I really, at the end, didn't want to stay in Syria, but if I had to, I guess I could have just asked him to drive me to like a park. Because my other internet, my mobile internet, the Wi-Fi sucks, but my mobile one wasn't too bad. So every day I could go to a park and do live stream and then
Chantal, the problems over in Syria extended more than just the internet. You didn't like the fact that you weren't alone with Salah. You wanted him all to yourself, like you kind of had in Kuwait. But in Syria, you weren't alone with him. There were other people in the house. There were people coming in and out of the house, ringing the doorbell that really bothered you. The family members were always around, wanting to hang out with him. You got angry and jealous and insecure of him being around the family. You resented the family from taking attention away from you. You wanted him at the ready, next to you at all times, to be right there in case you needed something. And you were angry that he had family to spend time with and he had a social life. And to deal with you being such a nagging burden, to keep the peace, he would stay gone a lot so the two of you wouldn't fight. Because when you were around each other, that's all you did was fight. But you're always after him. Go get me this. Go get me that. Take me here. Take me there. I got a craving for ice cream. Go get me ice cream at 2 a.m. Even though there's conflict going on outside. Go get me ice cream. I want ice cream now. It wasn't the life for you. You need to be somewhere where there's convenience of a lot of things. There wasn't convenience of a lot of things over in Syria. You were just, I'm sure he was exhausted. And I'm pretty sure he doesn't want that back. He doesn't want the burden of you back.
Then do a vlog, but or something like this, you know. But it was more restrictive content wise, yes. Because
Here you are back in Canada. You can do whatever you want. You got great internet. And what are you doing? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. And Chantal, you can go on doing nothing. It's your channel. You are choosing the content that you do. But this live was done 23 hours ago. Look at the views. Compared to how they used to be, pathetic. Girl, I remember when you getting like 20, 30K a video easily and hundreds of dollars a night in super chats during Crackhead Olympics. You don't get that anymore. No, you don't. No, you don't. 6,000 views for a live for a small channel would be amazing. If you were a small channel, but a 100K channel, that's not good. You're really not making a whole lot. You're making 6K a month. I can't look down my nose at that. And it would be enough for you if you cut out your bad habits and the sugar babies. But you've got those nasty habits of yours and those sugar babies of yours, and that's where a lot of your money is going. So what are you going to do if you get demonetized? How are you going to support your bad habits? How are you going to support your sugar babies? You won't be able to.
you know, like the village we're in is there's nothing to do really. There's not much. Like I've already done videos and you know. What else can I do? I could have done the a lot more for Damascus though.
You know what, Chantal? While you were in Syria, everybody understood why you couldn't go out, why you couldn't do things. You didn't have a car. You didn't know where you were. There was conflict going on all over the place. The internet was not the best. I'm sure your beezers, they understood more why you couldn't do things in Syria. But now you're in Canada where you can do a lot more with yourself and you're not doing it. So what's the excuse now? When you have the potential to do so much and you're not doing anything, you can't come up with excuses anymore. You can't come up with reasons anymore. I'm sick. I'm tired. I'm sick. I'm tired. I'm feeling dizzy because I did too many edibles last night. The beaches have heard them all since you've gotten back. You're running out of excuses and people are getting bored.
Oh, I'm really sorry, Jan Pete.
Oop, Silversa says, yeah, talking about Salah. He talks a big game, but no backup. It's easy to butter her up when she's far away and keeps her on a leash. Where were the actions to back up his words? Where were they?
Sorry for your loss. It is holding off. The couch is holding up, yeah. Okay, no more talking about Salah. Thank you.
And she don't want to talk about him because people are bringing up he's throwing game on you and you're falling for it. He's just over there poaching you off and taking your money and feeding you promises. And meanwhile, your channel is tanking. She don't want to talk about that. That's too much reality for her right now.
Weird Barbie. The Syria internet.
Oh, Larry Mandela says, quote, the village we're in. So are you admitting you are still with him and going back eventually? Blush Queen says, you are talking about him. So Foodie just said, no more talking about Salah, and yet she's the one who brought him up. If you don't want people talking about Salah, Chantal, then don't bring him up. Don't make him a topic of conversation. Don't talk about things that you did back in the Middle East. If you want the conversation to stay away from Salah, then go do other things where he is not involved. Get up off the couch and do something where the conversation will shift to something else.
The village we're in. No, Larry.
And by the way, y'all, we're not reacting this whole live because it just gets progressively worse. She just gets more and more high, and she's barely speaking. We're going to cut it off in a bit.
I'm not going back to Syria.
No, you're not.
The cat is here. Really? I don't want anything from Santa. What? Oh, thanks, Miss Piss. Yeah, right, pumpkin. Yes, it is. It's Mary Olive. Why are you being like that about my name? But yeah, it is. Yeah, I know it's weird.
Riveting content. I don't even know if I'm going to make it to the hour mark. I might just cut it off early.
I don't know what will happen in a year. What do you guys think? I don't know.
Well, if you keep going the way that you're going, Chantal, in a year, I'm not wishing this for you. I think if you keep going the way that you're going, there's a high chance you might be bedbound or in a hospital. If you keep laying on that doggone couch, if you keep eating the way that you do, you might be at a weight where you might be in the hospital or you might be in a care facility, a ward of the state, since you won't be able to afford medical care. And then if you are a ward of the state, they're going to fix your diet for you. And there's not going to be a doggone thing you can do about it. You will lose weight that way.
All of that depends on me. Am I gonna start using the gym? Am I gonna start cooking more for myself?
Okay, we're done here. She's over there slurring really, really bad. No. Nope. I'm not doing the slurry streams. No, 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 no. She was able to talk. And the front part of this, I feel like the edibles are kicking in hard. We're cutting it off here. I'm making a decision, family. We're cutting it off here. So we're done with this react. Hope you guys have enjoyed. If you have, please like and subscribe and leave a comment. Thank you so much for being here, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Until then, take care of yourselves and each other. Bye now.